Well,
Can you hear me still?
I hear you now.
Am I clearer or any different?
Clear.
Okay, I put an earpiece in because I thought I sounded muffled last time. And fuck you too, Dwayne. How's everybody doing?
Say something else, Sleeves. I can't hear you now. You muted your
mic.
mic.
Mic is muted, Sleeve. So fucking smart. Hit the goddamn button and say something out loud, dickhead.
Fuck nut. How about you kiss my ass, you fuck nut, and suck on
As long as I can hear it. Shit. It's supposed to be on your nose, too. It's supposed to be on your nose, too, dog.
Several of my balls. Fuck my nose. It's going to be right up under here, nigga. Under here, there, wherever. Ain't going to be no fucking words just for a second. Fuck this shit. Off this corona shit. I'm unleashing. You fucks. All right? Hello.
Hello. How are you? Good evening.
Always some shit with you, boy.
It's going to be some shit with me. As long as I'm Zoom casting out this bitch.
Yeah.
I'm over here lifting like Dwayne The Rock Johnson. Every time I see him, this shit just turning into a muscle. This look like a whole light-skinned muscle over there, man.
Stop.
Brother. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, I see the weight bench. Are you using it, son?
Yeah.
I mean, I got an iron behind me. That don't mean I'm using the motherfucker.
Yeah,
I use it. I use it.
He uses it, man.
I use it.
Right?
I gotta do the Zoom in this room because it's like the quietest room. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, that makes sense.
Less interruptions.
I understand completely. I was just saying, just because he in the room with the weights, don't mean he touched the guy.
Hey man, that's brother Mustafa. If he's around them weights, he's using them weights. You understand?
Like everybody like to give stuff credit for stuff, but me, I'm on to you, boy. I always have.
Listen.
ain't no fooling Tyree.
Hey, listen, I seen him, man. Them shoulders done got a little wider, man. He ain't playing around. He a father. You know what I'm saying? Talk to him. Talk to him, man. Niggas ain't playing. He got 2 kids.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm saying shit.
I got to be able to scoop both of them in case it's an emergency. You know what I'm saying?
And knock parents out effortlessly who disrespect. Wow. All right. Period. We have no.
Said that was a foul.
What was that? Oh, do we have a problem, teacher? I didn't think so.
Oh man.
They keep me away from the school. They keep me away from these teachers.
And why is that?
Because I'm a motherfucker. And I love it.
It's your problem.
Exactly.
It's a problem time. You know?
You know what I'm saying? Let me get comfortable. It's April and I'm wearing a parka. Why? You know what I'm saying?
Same reason you giving the screen a crotch shot right now, nigga. Like,
man, kiss my ass, man. Right now. Like, you know what I'm saying?
What you missed, Todd, that was a little young baby flex right there on the parka. That's probably like some foreign, European-only Elise's.
Mm-hmm. He definitely got it from Nottingham.
It's called the Dolomite jacket. That's exactly what it's called. It's called the Dolomite parka, to be exact. You know what I'm saying? That's all.
All right, guys, we're back. Another Zoom cast.
The Podcastbols is in the building, man. The Zoom cast begins again. Sleeves in the building. Got my man, good brother Staff over there.
Yeah,
and on the bottom tier, you know what I'm saying? We got Tyree, a.k.a. Sky. He trying to match with his little flyer shit today. Salute.
Yeah.
All right.
It's official. You already done lit a square and everything.
You know what I'm saying?
Got me a little cup of Woodford. I'm ready to go.
Nice.
Got some of that smooth shit. Hey,
nice.
Yeah. I'm drinking Canadian shit. Straight from that Total Wine. Woo!
Yeah, I went to Mount Laurel Wine and Spirits, I think it was, and it was like one person in the line. And it's funny because you ride past all these motherfuckers outside of Roger Wilco, and it's like 30 people outside, and I went in there and just like I'm like giggling on the way home, like, damn, y'all, like all they had to do was drive 5 more minutes. Like, goddamn, I'll give you the address if you need it. Like, people think Roger Wilco the only place in Jersey to sell liquor. I
mean, every other store in Jersey sells it, but I prefer the Total Wine. Better selection.
Yeah, wider variety.
Yeah.
So where y'all want to start at this week, man? I know since y'all listed topics on a bunch of different things.
Well, I mean, The Last Dance did just come on last night. Have you guys got a chance to see the most recent
I've only
episode?
seen 1 and 3.
How did that work?
Right.
Well,
like, what the
Like,
fuck?
how did what?
They don't even come on that way.
How did that happen?
Well, let me explain.
Only you. See
So
how I'm
they-
on to him, Sleeves? Like, only you.
Yeah.
But I
1
never
and
said I
3.
saw all of them. I didn't say
I
that.
watched the first hour
I'm
of
being honest.
both of them.
Right,
The
because
first
at first-
hour of both
At
series.
first, when it first came out, I didn't realize that it was going to be a 2-hour event back-to-back episodes. So I had to go to work. So I watched the first episode, and I was like, well, I got to go to bed because I got to get up early. So I didn't get a chance to, watch part 2. And then I don't have cable. I'm kind of watching it on like a Fire Stick kind of.
Oh, I got you. Oh,
You know what I mean? So I didn't get to DVR it or anything like that.
Got you. Yeah,
And
listen,
then-
neither did I.
Yeah. Yesterday, I had to.
hotel
I fell asleep or something like that yesterday, or my wife wanted to watch something, so I only got to watch episode 3. You know what I mean?
Gotcha.
But today I did get my app situation worked out, and I got an app that has 1 through 4 on it, so I can get caught up.
You mean 2 and 4 you need to catch since you only saw 1 and 3. But
I mean, I'm just stating that the app has 1 through
have
4
1
on
through
it.
4.
But yeah, I need to
Gotcha.
see 2 and 4 to be caught up.
yes.
Mhm.
Well, for us that saw all of it, yeah, it's just me anyway, because I'm still out on them courts as an old head.
Yeah.
So it just
They
it
got
just
Jordan
brings
rules
back-
for you. They got Jordan rules for you in the paint, though.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I shoot outside. I don't come in no more. I'm old. I'm 40. We ain't got time for that shit no more. Back hurts after them games, all right?
It's just,
Right.
it's crazy that that's how they treated him. That was the fear they had.
Dog, no, think about how they played ball. Like, this is what I'm saying. I play
Yeah.
with these young cats on the court right now. They are suckers for the most part. Be on some damn old head, you whacking, and you just playing tight on them or something like that. These motherfuckers was fucking you up intentionally. Like, rumbles on site. You saw the Jones with like Larry Bird and everybody like that. It's rumbles on site.
Yeah,
Some of
like,
them
I mean,
joints, like,
I think it's more indicative of how the league was at that time. Like, Jordan wasn't special. Like,
no.
we've all seen the video of a bloody-ass Isaiah Thomas.
But
Exactly.
he was special, though. They had rules specifically for him.
Well, I
Well,
mean,
I'm saying, though, the refs-
that's just one team's philosophy to stop him because
Exactly.
he was special in terms of his talent. He was one of the greatest guards of all time. No, he's special, but I mean, in terms of the abuse he took, like, that's Detroit's kind of mode
Period.
against everybody they
Well, I
play.
mean,
Like,
yeah,
don't
they
think Magic
had a
Johnson,
reputation, but how
Kurt
many other
Rambis, like,
how many other players did they set
Everybody,
aside from the
whoever
rest of
your
the
main
team?
They
They
player
had
shit
a
out
was,
all
special
of
set
them.
of
They-
rules for that player
That's
in the
how they
paint.
got
they
their name.
did the same thing to Bird. Like,
Exactly.
they
Magic.
called it Jordan rules because that was their best player and that's who they isolated. But that was the
Exactly.
same tactic that they used against everybody they played. Like, they didn't change up the playbook for him. Like, they were just made sure they fucked him up a little extra, him and Scotty both. So I mean,
Rick
Jordan rules also
Mahorn
applied to
and
Scotty
John
when he went to paint.
Sally, the bottom line was Sally and Mahorn regardless. Like, definitely Jordan rules was like they said. He likes to get in the air, so don't let his ass take off. So they was making sure he wasn't taking off. And if you got below that dotted, Mahorn and Sally was fucking you up in Lambert. And that just wasn't
that was-
Jordan. That was everybody.
That was exactly. That was the Bulls,
Everybody.
the Wizards, and everybody in between, or the Bullets,
Exactly.
Bucks,
Like,
the Sixers.
Dominique Wilkins
They would have
used to
played
get
the
fucked
European
up.
team.
All right,
Right,
like,
yeah.
like he used to get flipped. All right, like that shit wasn't no joke. That's why you had to go to the whole aggressive and crazy like that because motherfuckers was trying to.
Would you at least say this, that out of all those other players that you mentioned, the Dominique Wilkins and the Larry Birds, the player that they did fear the most, even though they were hard on everybody, the player that they did fear the most was Michael Jordan.
Of course, because he was
Well, I
the
mean-
best at yeah, definitely.
But I mean, that was the player they feared the most in 89, 90, 91. Like, he wasn't the player that they feared the most in 88, 87. But I'm saying, like,
But they had that
beat the shit out
reputation
of somebody
back then.
else specifically that, like, they didn't just start it when Jordan got there. Like, that was kind of their MO. Once, they became kind of a dominant franchise in like 87, I guess you could say. At least that's when they started competing, with
That was
the
their
Celtics.
claim to fame. Like if the rules was how they was now back then, Detroit would have never won shit.
Now,
right? Because that was, you know what I'm saying? Because that bully ball wouldn't have worked. You get what I'm saying? That's all it was.
On that, though, now, how do you feel about people who say, like, LeBron, if he would have played back then, he wouldn't have been as influential in the game as he is now?
I disagree. He would have adjusted. He's a fucking man. Like, at like 250, 260.
That's what I feel you on.
He was an 18-year-old.
You get what I'm saying? Like, he would have been a terror. He would have adjusted himself and been a terror. Like, you get what I'm saying? You think how he fly and dunk on motherfuckers now, just on the low. Like,
I definitely think if he'd have played back then, we'd be having a conversation about how the Pistons had LeBron rules.
Yeah, but it would have been different because LeBron would have been, you know how they showed Mike had to get big and lift and do all that shit, that those 2 off seasons to get ready.
LeBron carries that kind of weight size naturally.
Exactly. A locomotive coming down that motherfucking court, dog. Like, are you kidding me? Move out the way. John Sally, Lambert, all of them would have been getting yammed on, elbowed in their fucking face, all that. Like, I'm not calling. Like, they try to label LeBron soft. Like, nah, dog, he would have adjusted to the era because you couldn't be no chump back then.
Now, let me ask you this, though, Sleeves. How do you feel? Because I know Tyree thinks Kareem is the greatest basketball player of all time. Would you be in agreement with that, or would you say it might be, a Michael Jordan because of his influence and impact on the game?
Well, to your credit, we kind of talked about this before, and before me and Scott argued about Mike and Kareem, and I was on Mike's time and Mike's side, and I still ride with Mike that he's up there, but I have had, a little bit of change of heart on that because because when it gets down to the actual factuals, man, like Reem, regardless 7 foot or not,
I'm gonna sip my cup.
Created his own shot. The niggas up there and like, listen, dog, you can't be. He the best in scoring, rebounding, and like block shots or some shit like that, man. Like
second to Hakeem in block shots.
What you say?
Second to Hakeem in block shots.
Second to Hakeem in block shots. So he would get your boards. He cleaning that shit up, and he's scoring the most points. So. And not for nothing, as a big man, he has the best career ever, period. Like, besides somebody like Wilt, but like on some durability shit, Kareem played damn near almost 20 years, like 18 years or some shit like that.
No, 21.
21? 20?
Or 20. 20 or 21.
20 or 21. So, yeah, dog, as a 7-footer in the NBA, like, this nigga was doing yoga in the 70s for a reason and fucking doing martial arts and all that shit for a reason. Like, he's
Game of death.
Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, early, like, so.
And it's not like Jordan has so many more accolades. Like, they have the same amount of rings and the same amount of MVPs.
Like, I think on the low, like, Mike, listen, for what I've seen, like, when you go by the numbers and really what the fuck it is, Reem, he got it, man. Like, that motherfucker got it. Like, you know what I'm saying? But from what I seen in my day, because Kareem still was 7 foot, even though it was a hook shot, whatever. Mike created his own shot with that fadeaway joint he had. Like, you know what I'm saying? On the low, like, for real. In the post, getting that shit, shimmy, shake, it's over with. Nobody was doing that shit before him. But he's the best I've ever seen. But overall, Kareem is the best, man. He's the GOAT because, like, scoring, rebounding, blocks, like, come on, man. Like,
I also think it's timing because Mike came about in that whole mid to late 80s where you had more opportunities to be this superstar.
Just more communication, like more global communication. Like, he came about at a time when everybody thought it was a mistake to get him because he wasn't 6'10", 6'11". Like, he changed the game to make the guard the number one option. Even with Magic's greatness, he still had Kareem, he still had James Worthy, he still had, Hall of Fame caliber counterparts. And Kareem was the captain of the team. Like, Michael was the first, I mean, you can say Isaiah too, but like, Michael was the first global, just super duper star, A. B, he was the first 2-guard that was the unequivocal boss / captain / best player / most dominant. So he deserves every accolade. But like I always say, in terms of greatest basketball player of all time, like if you say greatest NBA player of all time, I kind of still think it's Kareem. But if you go GOAT of basketball and every facet of basketball has to matter, Kareem is in the consideration for the greatest NBA player of all time. There's no other consideration when it comes to high school or college. So, I mean, goddamn, it's not like I'm saying, you know, Robert Parrish or some shit like that. I'm saying somebody who lost 2 games in 3 years in college. His first scrimmage was against the championship team in UCLA because the freshmen couldn't play, and they blew them the fuck out by 30 points. So, like, dominance is really all he knew.
Yeah, oh, true. Very true.
And he was humble with it. That's the difference, though. See, Mike talk that shit.
But you know, media is different. Like we don't know what would have happened if there was more acts. I mean, people were watching the NBA finals and shit like that on tape delay when Kareem was at his best.
Yeah, I know.
So it wasn't even like it's not even comparison. It's not even compared.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But it's up there with them. I mean, when it comes to that, though, I'm sorry, it's between them two. And I know what's his name. We won't, mention other, shows and things. But you know what show I'm talking about with my man old Shay. Like he would bring up LeBron and this shit, and I'm never disrespecting LeBron and any of that, but like I would have to go Kobe before LeBron. Like I
don't disagree with you there. Like I mean, LeBron's a great basketball player. Everybody's opinion is an opinion. You know, I understand. Don't give me the line. I think a pre-back injury Bird was better, but what do I know? I just watch shit just like everybody else.
Well, listen, I want to switch it up a little bit here.
Switch it up, man.
Yeah, because we'll definitely come back and cover more of The Last Dance as more episodes come out, and as I get caught up.
Yeah.
And also, just really quick about The Last Dance, like if you got a chance to watch any sports today, it was heavily focused last night on the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah.
Like I had mentioned, Isaiah, he got his ass whooped just like everybody else, elbowed in the head. And he was on, Get Up with Mike Greenberg, and he was on First Take. And he has some real great points, man. Like he because a lot of people like to just label him as
the bad guy
pussy because they didn't shake their hands at the end of the 91 playoff series when they swept them. And Isaiah will tell you, like, when we beat the shit out of Boston in our series before we became champions, they walked off the court. Larry Bird, nobody stopped him. Nobody said shit to him about walking off. He physically had to grab Kevin McHale to stop him, to shake his hand and give him words. So, like, it's happened before. Not to mention also in Game 3, right before they swept him, Michael Jordan said, at a press conference that he didn't think that Detroit were worthy champions. I mean, they earned it. Like, you can't take that away from them. So all this in context.
But the stigma around them is earned. I mean, they developed a reputation for being bad boys. So whenever they do
No, they did that. But I think the most egregious thing that people point to them is that they walked off the court at the end of the 91 Eastern Conference Finals. But it was unprecedented. But it had been done to them and had been done all over the league.
But I gotta chime in real quick. But to Mike's point, fuck out of here. Y'all beat me 3 straight years. And I shook your hands, and I fucking did interviews. You know what I'm saying? Fuck
you
that.
Right.
You know
right.
what
I'm not condoning. I'm not condoning.
I respect the game. So we finally, y'all been whooping my ass for 3 years, dog. Whooping my ass. You know what I'm saying? So listen here.
And that is different. You should make an exception in that case. Like, we've been beating these dudes for the last 3 seasons, and they got us this time. We definitely got to give them props. They got it.
Like, dog, that's disrespect to the game. Like, you bitch ass niggas. Mike and Scotty better than me because when they walk by, I'd have been like, you bitch ass niggas. You know what I'm saying? And I would have.
They probably did.
And I would have went over to Isaiah. I would have got in front of that nigga like, yo, what's up, dog? We just bust your ass. You're not gonna shake my hand? You're a pussy. Now I'd have told him that would have been it right there. So what we gonna do? That's how that shit should have really went down, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'd have got right in front of Zeke, like, dog, You ain't about to dick. You see how you try to get low and shit? Out here, right when you try to get low, I would have cut right the fucking front. What's up, nigga? We just bust your ass. I can't get mines. I can't get mines. Y'all been whooping my ass. For real, Zeke, you gonna be a pussy? Oh, all right then. Cool. Walk
Listen,
off.
neither perspective is wrong. Man. I'm not like I said, I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just saying that if you hear what he said on First Take, he had some interesting points.
Yeah, no
I heard his shit. I felt him from that interview, you know, on the joint last night on The Last Dance. I get that perspective, but like then on the flip, I'm like, Zeke, but nah. Like Mike was different and y'all was busting it, y'all was fucking him up, dog. Like, you know what I'm saying? They finally came through. Like you said, they fucked Scotty up on that one play, and Scotty was like, all right, fuck out of here. I'm about to bust your
You know, they were salty. They beat him all the time, and this time they
didn't. Of course
so
they were.
Just like,
I mean, if nothing else, is a recognition of our time is over and his is just starting. Exactly. And my time is never going to happen again. So
that was it for Zeke,
for real. But yeah, absolutely. Plus, I mean, he retired at 32. Like, it's not like he had a exceptionally long career, but like, I mean, should they have shook hands? Absolutely. I'm not saying that under any circumstance. That's the adult thing.
That's always the case, unless it's been like a foul play during the whole game. You know what I mean? But yeah, it is what it is.
Even that, like, you know, it's all in the confines of trying to win. Like, they don't want to win any more than I do. What they stoop to is just what they stoop to. But you respect the game. You know, at the end of it, I get it. But you know, it just happened.
Anyway, but what I wanted to address next was I had seen some people talking online about it in you know, a couple different Instagram posts and Twitter posts.
Fuck China? Oh, go ahead.
We'll come back to that. We'll get back to that. But I want to know how y'all feel.
China. You heard me again, Tyree. Don't look at me like that.
Fuck how y'all feel about this?
You go over there as a black man if you want, asshole. Now go ahead. Excuse me.
Okay. In our society, basing the value of a woman on how many sexual partners she has had.
Oh no! Listen here. Come on, man. I'm too old for
that.
Now,
our society bases the value of a woman on the amount of sexual partners she's had, or how some people.
Well, maybe reported sexual partners. There's no way in hell to know the real answer.
Well, you get the accuracy with that.
Yeah, no, that's like COVID cases. You don't know how many motherfuckers is coughing around the corner.
You even want to know that?
Well, listen. My thing is this, right? As a society, no, right? You can't base somebody's value on how many people they've slept with. You don't even know what their circumstances or who they might have been forced to sleep with. You don't know. But as an individual, it's solely, totally your prerogative if you want to value a woman on the number of partners she slept with. It's the truth. If you're looking for somebody with quote unquote low mileage, then you're going to put more value on a woman that has low mileage.
This is all within the confines of trying to find like dating.
Yeah, it's all about what you find desirable. You know what I mean? So
okay, like I didn't know what context you meant. I thought you meant like senator or some shit like that. I just wanted to make sure we was all talking about the same thing. Like, I mean, so you're saying that if you were looking for a partner, you would base that. There are people that base that on, you know, over under 10, 20, some shit like that.
So look. I get it. There's double standards, right? Because they'll say a man can go out there and he can hoe it up. You know what I mean? But when he's ready to settle down, his past gets forgotten, whatever, so to speak. But there's a lot of double standards out there in our society. You know what I mean? But I think as an individual, if you say, hey, I want this in a partner, that's perfectly fine with that. And people shouldn't judge you on that. You know what I mean? This is what you want, what you find desirable. You see what I'm saying? Like, it's kind of.
Well, yeah, no, I mean, personal preference is exactly that. Like, I can't begrudge you because you want a dark-skinned woman with a fat ass and I want a light-skinned chick with a narrow one. I'm not saying that's the case, but if that's what I was into, like, I only date Korean women. Okay, like, damn, Todd, that's fucked up. You only date Korean women. Why do you care who I'm bringing to the Korean restaurant and how often?
Facts.
And if that's the case, if you out with two women that check all the boxes that you like, they're intelligent, they're caring, kind, and one is Korean and the other is Mexican. you're gonna put more value on a Korean woman because that's what you want. That's what you find more desirable.
In
Now,
that,
as a
in that
society,
scenario, yeah.
do we put more value on Korean women? No, absolutely not. You know what I mean? But as an individual, you can do whatever you want, and women do it all the time too. Like how often do you? I will say this: most women only date men that are taller than them. It's because
I mean, you know,
they
they're outliers,
value
but
a
yeah,
man
by and large.
that is taller than them.
I mean, but like,
yeah, that's yes and no though, dog. That's yes and no, cause I'm, you know, no disrespect, stuff, but you know, I'm in the streets, man. So I talk to, you know, what I'm saying, talk to different ones, man. So they like some of them short motherfuckers, man. You know what I'm saying?
But to Stop's point is over 50%. It's over 50% that would prefer
I don't know.
So if that's,
I don't know.
Come on, man.
How many women taller than you have you dated? How many women taller than you have you dated?
A couple. I like them Amazonian bitches, man.
All right, with you being an exception to the rules.
I don't discriminate. You know what I mean? But
it's not about you though. It's not about you though. It's about the women. Most women don't date men that are shorter than them. They just don't. It's because they have a requirement, something they find desirable, and they put more value when they're dating two guys, and one is shorter than them, and one is taller, and they say when they start dating that they want a guy who is taller than them, they're going to put more value on the man who is taller, and that's probably one.
I mean, but like that's a human. Like, I guess what I'm wondering is there like a report somewhere that's saying that people are having an increased double standard? Like, this is what people do. Like, everything you're saying is like, hell yeah. Like, if you want a certain thing in your partner, then that's a preference, but it doesn't necessarily mean that the society as a whole should prefer one over the other. Like, that's just, it's all up to the individual.
Right. I mean,
and to your point with the tall Jones, I do have a preference even when it comes to that, as if it was a tall female. Fuck your face, Tyree, and kiss ass, man.
Cause you about to say some old freak shit. We moving on. Get your nut ass out of here. Keep your clothes on.
I want to hear it. Let him say what he got to say.
Don't cut me the fuck off in my moment, man. This is why we are a three-piece team, you fuck. All right, now let's cut it out. All right, let me say my shit. So anyway, I got a problem with them if they tall and they fucking shoe size close to mine. If your feet big as shit, I can't fuck with it. Period. Factual. Listen, if them Jones long, then a motherfucker they close to mine, cool. If you get damn near wearing my flip-flops, bitch, I'm cool. I don't want you.
You guys messing with a baby girl. She's 6'3", but she got this cute size 7. So you know, we fuck around, get married.
You know what I'm saying?
Is these my J's or yours?
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. You put my shit on. Yo, you wearing my kicks? No, I'm out. I'm out, man. I'm cool.
But anyway. But you know, I know society and men in general, they tend to say they want a woman who doesn't have a lot of sexual partners. I get that, you know, but society ain't fair as a lot.
No, I mean, but the one thing about finding a partner is some people take what they can get. Mm-hmm. And if you can get her with 7 kids at 25, and that's just what's in your market because you ain't really recruiting much else, then damn it, you and them and the kids, y'all gonna get along just fine.
And I was gonna say, part of this is also you roll the dice on that. Like, you're looking for, quote unquote, a Miss Perfect that checks all your boxes, has low mileage, a good job, nice looking, kind, intelligent. You might not find her. You know what I mean? You could be out there looking forever, or perhaps you could, I don't want to say settle, but perhaps you could date a woman who doesn't check all those boxes. Maybe she is kind and intelligent and good looking, but she has mileage on her. You know what I mean? That's a decision.
Or you know, we playing up to the stereotype. Maybe somebody want a bitch that's mean, ugly, and you know, no nonsense.
If that's what you want. Then that's
low
what you
self-esteem and shit.
Right. Listen,
you know what I'm saying?
I only would date women with daddy issues. Like, there are people that
prey on that shit.
And so prey is the
exact
term.
So
right there.
Come on, man.
I know it's not fair.
Personal preference.
I know it's
Definitely.
not fair in our society, but there's a lot of double standards. Like men, like I said, men want a woman with low mileage. No doubt. And that's not right because, you know, you don't want to pass up on a good woman because she has a crazy sexual background, right? You know,
But
maybe
into that case, though, dog, you keep saying that, though, but you got to be real with yourself. If you're still in this game now, like I just turned 40, dog. Like you get what I'm saying? Like that's a minute. So depending on who you dating and the age, like, come on, B. Like you know what I'm
no, you're
saying? Like
exactly
you know
right,
what I'm
though.
saying? Like
You're
I
exactly
can't be
right,
out
though.
here like how many bodies you got? Like bitch, you 38, 40, 41 or something. Like you got a couple bodies.
You
Like
got a
you know what I'm saying?
graveyard behind the house. I know that, but look, what I'm saying is that as a man, though, right? You could do your thing from age 20 to age 40 and decide you want to settle down, right? And when you decide that you want to settle down, you say, I want a woman with very few sexual partners. You could always get somebody young, like you said, and odds are they won't have had that many partners. You see what I'm saying?
Or the one young one that you want doesn't want you because you've had too many sexual partners. And that's
that
their
would be her
preference.
prerogative. She could say that exactly. Like, you're not what I'm looking for. I want a man who's older and established and has his own thing going on. You know,
and ain't been slinging this shit all around town since 20 or something. Yeah,
sexual partners.
exactly. You know what I mean? So,
I mean, it's just the double standards. Like, I mean, even in our society, look, right? Heterosexual man looking for a wife. You will be, if a heterosexual man was looking for a wife and the woman he was engaged to had a past of homosexuality, girlfriends, slept with other women, there's still a good chance she's going to get married to a heterosexual man. But now reverse it, heterosexual woman, her fiance has a past and a history of homosexuality.
He's gonna have to relocate. He can't even live in that same neighborhood no more once that shit get out, dog. He's got to flee the scene.
But odds are she's not going to marry you.
No.
You don't want to go back and see the old pictures from MySpace.
No.
You and the boyfriend. You know what I mean?
No. Yeah, go walk that shit off.
Reginald laid up. That's not going to play. That's not going to play at all.
Go walk in your newness, bro. Go be that.
And that's the double standard. So it's
because but like that's a far-reaching double standard, because the female double standard is that I'm not dating him, he gay, and the male double standard is you ain't dating women, you gay. Like, you know what I mean? And that's real. Like, that's just what it is.
Yeah. So I mean, you know, society has all these little.
Well, good thing society is on its way for a reboot now that everybody been in the house.
Fair.
Like 3 months.
There's a lot of issues with society.
Fuck society, man. And fuck the way everybody thought in the norm.
And the way people
do fucking you, man.
Society.
You know
I mean, no, to Slee's point, like, you know, do what you like.
Period.
Digital underground.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody do what you like.
I see guys and girls dancing.
Yeah, I know. It's not fair. You just got to be, you know what I mean? Like, you got to be careful. I mean, if you're a woman and you know that society devalues women who have a lot of sexual partners, then maybe be a little more cautious, I would say.
Man, they just
but then that's kind of putting shackles on your game to curtail yourself to society. So fuck that.
That is true.
Go outside with your drawers off.
But you would have to know that while you're out there doing your thing and wilding out, you're devaluing yourself in the eyes of our.
Well, I mean, if you could find this honesty, this scorecard, like that doesn't exist.
What the fuck?
Oh yeah, it's a hot girl summer right now when you're living in that moment.
It was a hot girl summer, so that means get it the fuck in. So like they ain't devaluing it that much.
10 years from now, when your hot girl days are over and you try to settle down now, people are gonna go back and inquire about your past, and you're gonna be like, oh yeah.
Niggas ain't dog. I disagree. Niggas ain't worried about that. Just to Tyreek's point, ain't even a settling. If you come across a joint, she bad, she hit most of the boxes. And she had it, I put it to you like this, as long as overly she ain't bodied none of your homies.
But is there a line though? Is there a limit?
Yeah, as long as she ain't bodied none of my homies. the fuck? Like, then all right, cool. Like, I don't want nothing to do with a chick that doesn't body any of my major bros. I'm cool. I don't operate like that.
Now, how about
cool.
this one? How about somebody who was in like a
we
sex
don't
work
operate that way.
or in porn?
You know what I'm saying? What's that?
How about somebody who used to be a sex worker or in porn or something like that?
Yeah, me personally, no. Like, no.
Okay,
like,
just
that's
to see
not,
if you had a line, if there was a line in the sand.
I absolutely do. Like, that just me. Like, it's kind of over with. Like that thrill is gone. Like, you my joint now, but like that nigga was bombing. Like, I used to whack this nigga bombing this shit out you, and now like you mine, but. Like, you see these niggas in the market.
Mine, I love you, but
bombing the shit out.
Like, I'm cool. Like, we be in the market. You see one of these niggas that used to bomb the shit out you all crazy. Hey, you remember the good old days when we did that?
I know they start reminiscing.
10 gangbang. Well, you took it like a champ. I remember that.
Yeah.
Your wife. Like, I'm cool.
Remember, it was me,
nah.
you, Lex, Marcus.
Exactly. Like, that shit was crazy. You took it everywhere. Like, no, your wife's a champ, cuz. Like,
and then one come shake your hand, give you some down. Yo, yeah.
Exactly. Like, that's a lot. If you can deal with that, cool. But not me. Not me. I'm cool.
Like, I typically don't care about that type of thing, but
there was
something that just sparked in my emotional trap around 100-man gangbang that just gave me pause. I don't know what else to tell you.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
There is that. But I mean, on the most part, like, I don't really give a shit. Like, I mean, at least if I know you're in porn, you should have been tested out the wazoo. Like, I mean,
if you was tested out the wazoo, I'm sorry, you had too many random cocks slapped in your face, man. I just can't.
There's a 50 dick minimum.
Yeah, is what you said. Absolutely. You talking about numbers?
But I mean, like I would say, I would definitely say that I would have zero interaction with somebody I knew messed with a homie. Like, anyone that you two dated is off limits to me for the rest of my life. Whereas if I saw somebody and I didn't know that they were in the adult entertainment industry, like, maybe I find out once I'm already nailing and I'm at a point of no return because, right, but that is different. But what I'm saying is that, like, there's a definitive line, like, the homies is a no-go. But in the adult entertainment industry, there's flexibility. You could always claim ignorance.
Now, see, how about that, right? That's the flip, right?
You're dating a woman. I feel that.
You didn't know she was in that. You're dating a woman. You didn't know she was in adult entertainment. She's putting it on you crazy, right? And this is because of her numbers. She's good at what she does. And society looks down upon that, but it's that exact skill that she has developed over time that's got you like, yo, this is the one. But then you
so upon finding out
why she's so good,
Sleeves ain't ending that shit.
Like, no.
Ain't no way in hell Sleeves is saying that. I don't even need you to answer because I know what the answer is.
I thought you were special. Nah.
To Billy Ray.
Listen, check this out, man. We're going to have to talk about some things. But, you know what I'm saying? If I was already knee deep, we've been in this thing like
you could have just told me your name was Jada Fire in the streets. I ain't need to find that out from my homeboy. What the fuck, yo? Familiar. How you ain't even gonna tell me?
I knew you looked familiar.
Wonder why everybody always staring at you when we go out.
Exactly.
Right. And this nigga, the one dude said, the one dude kept saying booty talk, and I'm wondering why. Then all of a sudden, I found out you was on Booty Talk 47 through 63.
Yeah, I was wondering why and which one.
Yeah, you was in 15.
No, you know what happened? You start making excuses for her and shit. You know what? You was working with like the same balls. It was like the same 3 or 4 balls.
I rationalize it.
It was cool. It was like the same.
You did know that they was all clean.
It was the same niggas joining you. And
you was very professional. Artistic, cool. Even.
Exactly. You came home, you put your work in. It's all right, bro. You know what I mean? But yeah, the homie shit, nah. Like, that's just, I'm cool, man. Like, I don't ever want flashbacks of one of y'all niggas bombing the shit out of John I'm with. Like, no flashbacks, none of that shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm cool. I love y'all, but like, no, fuck, original. You know what I'm saying? Some niggas
So,
don't get that shit.
It's safe to say, all right, so society shouldn't,
You know what I'm
society
saying?
shouldn't value women based on the number of
You know
partners.
what I mean,
they have.
Scott? You know what I mean? That's all. You know what I'm saying? I'm cool.
Oh man, let it be, man. Let it be.
We're gonna let it go, but we gotta say, all right,
Let it
society
be.
is not cool to value women based on her sexual past, but satisfy your own prerogative at the same time.
Yeah,
Exactly.
man. Image is
Satisfy your
nothing.
desire.
Obey your thirst, nigga. Yeah,
Obey
sprite.
your thirst. Exactly.
Exactly, man. Just be wise in your dealings, baby. You know what I'm saying? And
So
once
one
again,
thing that I do want to point out that I just heard from my dad that you guys might want to take some notice to, and I actually saw a CNN article that correlates to this. There might be a meat shortage soon.
yeah,
Like
I
The
saw
Tyson
that.
plant shut down. You talking about?
right, the Tyson
Tyson
plant,
plant.
and they were saying like there's going to be millions of pounds of beef that won't be able to be distributed, because of the impact of the virus. So I don't have a deep freezer, but I
No,
went to the
okay.
market today, damn sure stocked up on some steaks, some chops, some wings.
You might not be able to get none in a couple weeks.
Yeah.
You
But
just don't know, man. So
how do y'all feel about states reopening? Is it happening too soon? Is it going to be a second wave? We're going to be back in the same boat again in a couple weeks?
It's definitely too soon. It's an early money grab for the economy, and they're not giving a fuck about people. But the people are so fucking ignorant. Like did you see over the weekend just the droves of people out in fucking Georgia? Like it was nothing, dog. Like I mean, it was like the Greek fucking over again. Like listen, parking lots, any fucking where, just pulling up off. Like listen, once they all get sick again, and I'm not trying to wish that on nobody, but that's what the fuck is
it's
going to
an
happen.
inevitability.
You know what I'm saying? And then now what? For what? So you can open up some salons, some barbershops,
I get
some
it though.
fucking
People got to
stores
go
and
back
shit.
to work. The stimulus checks are cool, but at the same time, we can't keep getting stimulus checks forever. I mean,
Not to mention, there's no talk about getting another one. A, B, most of them shits is probably gone from most folks. C, you got countries like Canada that's giving 2 stacks a month, countries like Australia that's giving a stack a month, and we just got a measly ass 1,200 beans that pay rent for 1 month, and now you're back stuck at square. Most people who really relied on that stimulus, I would venture to guess, are, if not at, are pretty close to square one, like at this moment right now. Like 1,200 is only gonna stretch you so far, especially if you have a family.
Oh yeah, some of us who got children didn't even see that jump. You know what I'm saying? So, oh yeah.
I said, I'll take another check, yeah, no doubt. But at the same time, you don't want to become dependent on the government to take care of you.
No, because it's the goddamn government. But you also don't want to put yourself in harm's way to the point where you need a goddamn ventilator either, man. Like,
I know, yeah.
You think is bullshit, then you see people like, rest in peace, Fred the Godson, and all types of examples like that just checked out, man, and it didn't have to happen.
No, it didn't. It didn't.
So,
but also at the same time, though, not to be on the conspiracy theory tip, because it is very real. People are getting sick and dying, and the degrees of separation become fewer and fewer for me. You know what I mean? Like I'm starting to know people that have had it and have passed away.
Yes, you and me both. I got it. Yeah, man.
It's realer. But I showed you that one article, the video with the health director from Chicago stating how they categorize COVID deaths.
Exactly.
If you die and you have COVID, they attribute it to COVID. So if you have a heart attack in the hospital and die, and you have COVID, they're going to say it was a COVID-related death.
You got shot in the head, but they tested your nostrils. And they said it was COVID from that.
Committed suicide.
You died from COVID. That's real shit. That's what they doing. Like
COVID-related death.
They don't give
like they're inflating the numbers to some degree. They admit it, but the question is why? You know what I mean?
Man. To drum the numbers up for what? The fear factor. One. It's weird because it's like they contradicting themselves all over. It's like, all right, you're trying to drum the numbers up all crazy, and then now you're trying to make it seem like, oh no, but it's cool, it's manageable. How is it manageable when the fucking numbers are still going up, dog?
My conspiracy theory is that it's definitely to get a vaccine. Higher numbers, pharmaceutical companies get money from the government for research and development, millions, billions, whatever.
GlaxoSmithKline already got a vaccine along with Bill. Ask me this: why the fuck does Bill Gates? Last time I checked, was like a computer geek, software dude. What the fuck do he know about vaccines? And why is he working on one for COVID?
He's got enough money to fund the research and the study and the development.
Yeah, kiss ass. That's already some bullshit, man.
But it is nuts because the quarantine is nuts.
Like, fuck out of here, man.
There are people that
I'm not taking no vaccine.
Yeah, I'm not taking it. I'm not dealing. But have you
kids,
that's exactly how I Am Legend started. They had some old crazy shit. They gave a vaccine for it. Next thing you know, these motherfuckers is man-eating zombie people. Like, I mean, I don't know if what you guys thought my take would be on some shit like that, but I'm definitely anti-vax. I don't even take a flu shot. I get my shit old-fashioned way.
Yeah, fuck you. They
not
inject the virus in that shit. Fuck you. And a chip this time.
And a chip. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, dog. And a fucking chip. Dog, I'm cool. Kiss my ass. You get the vaccine and a chip. Double dose, baby.
Yeah, I would need a tough sell to get a vaccine for that.
It ain't a tough sell for me. I'm going to be out here, elderberry, black seed oil, sea moss, turmeric, ginger,
that vitamin
orange
C
pills all fucking day long. All right? Till they don't stop.
But it's crazy. And the quarantine is crazy. I understand people wanting to get out, needing a break. So I was reading reports like up in New York. People have relatives in the house that die. And they call like the coroner or whatever, but they're so backlogged. They're like, we can't get to you for 3 hours to 3 days.
Yeah.
People have been living with dead bodies.
That's crazy.
In the house. You know what I mean?
Yeah, is this like a New York thing?
Yeah, that's the only place I've heard of it going on. Because New York.
I mean, like, you know, in from a statistical perspective, like New York and Jersey is just whooping everybody's ass in terms of like numbers.
Nigga, that's why I ain't seen
California has a decent amount, but when you consider the sheer volume of California compared to a New York, they're kind of on the light side. But like everything you hear about New York is just fucking.
Well, let me ask you this, right? If you were there, based on your living situation right now, where are you going to put a dead body at in your house for 3 days?
I live alone.
That's what I'm saying. But where would you store a dead body in your house for 3 days?
No, I'm putting that shit out on the sidewalk.
You can't put it out. You got to keep it.
Well, why? Says who? I bet you if it's on the sidewalk. Like, so I'm the wrong one to ask because I don't really care what happens to my remains. So, like, if I put that shit out on the street, I bet you somebody grab it.
It's not a random body, Ty. This is a relative.
Exactly.
I just told you, I don't give a fuck what happened to me. Like, throw me in a trash bag, cut up my parts, whatever's cheaper. Like, I'm not going to.
Where are you putting your relative's dead body at for 3 days, Ty? Somebody
on
you
the
love.
Steps. On the steps.
Oh, not on the sidewalk, on the steps.
In a trash bag, economy sized.
Just sit it
up.
up.
I got to get 2 bags and put them together with some duct tape. Damn, it's not my relative anymore. It's an empty vessel. Like, I'm not going to sit there and smell some old maggot shit. Like, no, that's not how I operate.
Yes. Okay. So we know Ty is sticking the body on the steps. So that's where Ty's relatives go.
Yeah.
But my point is that realistically, nobody has facilities.
I get how other people would disagree with that. Like, maybe sleeves is probably the better one to, like, you know, because
it's still gonna stink on the steps. You know that, right, Ty? Like, it's still.
I get it, but it's not gonna stink in my crib. Like, at least if it's out there, it's like, you know what I mean? Like, shit, man, it's not my house. It's not staying in the house.
It's like you just maybe do a weekend at Bernie's with this thing. I'm gonna bag it up.
Ain't gonna be in the house. That's what I can tell you. Like, there's no value to me keeping a stinking ass body in my home because the coroner can't come get it.
I hear that.
Yeah, no, probably like after day one, like, yeah, that shit's a wrap. Like, you know, it's going down. Like, for me, it'd probably be in the basement, in the garage. You know what I'm saying? Not all the way
see, I have
back.
neither.
Yeah, see?
Yeah. I'm in an apartment, so that ain't happening for me.
Yeah, so that's what would happen with me. It definitely wouldn't be in the same spot. No, it's getting moved to the furthest part of the furthest part of the home. Fuck that.
I'm sure there are many people that would have it laid up on some bed with some kind of lace sheet over it or some shit like that. But by day 3, man, that joint ripe as fuck. Especially if you in a, like, say you in Miami and that shit happen.
Yeah.
Nuts.
It's hot as shit.
Nuts.
Yeah.
No. Fuck that.
So, I guess 8:30. Before we wrap it, anything else you want to talk about? I know you're talking about the racism in China sleeves, them banning all black people from McDonald's.
Fuck China.
What happened about McDonald's?
Fuck
They
China.
were banning black people from McDonald's in China because the Chinese over there had just, for
It's
some
not just McDonald's, dog. It's everything.
They were trying to blame, I guess, the spread of corona on African immigrants, even though Africa has like the fewest number of outbreaks.
Period. It's not just McDonald's. It's everywhere. They're not letting them live
out of
nowhere.
their homes.
They're kicking them out their homes.
On the street.
And they whooping their ass, dog.
Yeah.
Like, they literally whooping their ass. Like, I seen them just whooping random black people in the ass like we ain't shit. Like, real shit. Like we're pieces of shit. And then it got deeper because they have, like, the, let's say the governors and everybody, the main Chinese folks have, like, a big celebration every year around Chinese New Year. And this year, guess what they had? They had fucking Chinese folks, actors, dressed up in fucking blackface, making fucking fun of us. All right? Yeah, doing all this extra shit, and the high ups, all this laughing and chum about this shit over here. China. All right? I ain't buying nothing Chinese, suck a dick. You know what I'm saying? I ain't been on that shit for a minute anyway. I ain't been on no Chinese food anyway for a minute. But definitely, I'll go to the H Mart. It's Korean. It's Korean. It's a different. I ain't fucking with nothing Chinese, dog.
What I would say disappointed me a lot.
I can get behind that. Listen, I had no idea what you were going to say, so I'm with you on that. Fuck China. I can get
what
behind
disappointed me a lot, though, is that here in America, right, when COVID was popping off and there was all that anti-Asian racism and backlash going out, people came out and spoke out about it. But I didn't really see social media popping with a bunch of Chinese people speaking out about the racism Africans were facing in China and how wrong that was.
Listen, dog, I saw an interview not too long ago where these 2 French doctors was talking about doing some type of mass experiments on African people related to COVID because that's where all the experiments should be taking place. Like, I mean,
like what?
Second class doesn't even begin to conceptualize.
No. We test everything out on them.
Hey, the Tanzanian prime minister from Tanzania said, absolutely, fuck China. They tried to have a $10 billion act to try to invest in them with all that testing and all this extra shit into their country. The way they treating us over there, said, fuck y'all, keep that shit and get the fuck out of here. Like, you know what I'm saying? Fuck out of here.
How else can you expect somebody to react in the face of just, I mean, to say that they're being marginalized and just like
it's an understatement.
It's almost just like like they're like insignificant, like fucking specks, man. Like these are human beings, man. We're centuries away from captivity.
But how they say we got it, and these motherfuckers eat bats, all types of maggots, crickets, all types of shit. We got the COVID, right? The black Africans over in China. When you motherfuckers eat every nasty fucking thing you could even think of, dog. Just disgusting, man. You know what I'm saying? On every level.
Yeah.
Every level.
On a whole nother note, to move away from this, I saw on Showtime over the weekend, they have a Teddy Pendergrass documentary.
Yeah, I saw you tweeting about it. I didn't get a chance to.
Oh man.
Oh, I
it was so good, dog. Like, I mean, because you learn things when you watch things like that. Like, I don't know if you guys ever heard the song Lady. Lionel Richie wrote it. Kenny Rogers wrote it and gave it to Kenny Rogers. Lionel Richie sang it too. But Teddy P did a rendition of it. And the only recording of it is a concert that he did in London in early 1982, like weeks before the crash. Oh, and they played it in a documentary, and that shit gave me shit. Like, I mean, Teddy gonna sing shit like nobody in the history of voices can sing it. And to hear him yell "lady" like he's calling for some bitch to get over here right now, as opposed to the soft, smooth way that Lionel, like, it was incredible. And
Teddy had the all-female shows.
Yeah, my mom went to them girls, dog.
Yeah,
Listen,
and like they had like live interviews from people that were at it, and like it was one dude with his wife, like, hell yeah, I love Teddy too. There's gonna be nothing but women there. I'm going like, I mean, obviously it was mostly women, but like he was a superstar. But in 1982, if things would have went the way they had planned, he was on his way to like global
I can believe it.
stardom
Yeah.
because he was in a unique niche all to himself. Since then, still, there's been nobody that has sounded like him to get mainstream success. And if it wasn't for that crash, man, he was.
But did they talk?
There's
But see,
fucking no
that's
telling,
you
dog.
keep saying that crash.
Did they
See,
go
the
in on
problem
the
is, do they talk about the realness of that crash though, or what really the fuck happened? Or they still telling the bullshit story? You know.
Well, so one of the things they did say was that for whatever reason, he had a lot of problem with car trouble. He had a fleet of cars, and all of them wound up having like messed up shit happening. The brakes went out on that car. You know, they talked about various conspiracy theories a little bit, but didn't delve too deep into them because there's no.
Well, the main
no
thing
evidence.
is how they be trying to shatter my man name, and I'm sick of that shit. Is what he was in there with a TS, and that's what was going on Lincoln Drive and the whole night. No, he wasn't.
It was a transsexual and a born woman.
Listen, brother.
Listen, man. I watched it.
I'm sorry,
listen, wait. Let me just hear me out before you go, because I know what you're going to say. Hear me out. Everybody involved in the issue, including a 20-tape documentary that Teddy P recorded himself, talked about the person who was in the car. They talked to the person in the car. She is, at the time, she was a post-op transsexual. So she got the chop, if that means anything to you. But she was born a man.
Can I finish? You done with that bullshit? All right,
it's all true.
No, it's not. True. Because how you gonna say it's true? Because guess what? God rest my soul. So you gonna battle me on this? So my mom's a liar? Because guess what? I'm gonna bring the real shit for you.
I don't know if your mom was in the documentary, but they listed the people.
Guess what? My mom
was at the crime scene.
Documentary.
Listen, she was at the crime scene.
You be quiet for a second. I heard your bullshit.
Transsexual woman was at the crime scene.
And I say what I gotta say. I heard your bullshit. All right, thank you. All right. Once again, my mother was married to a cop who was the first nigga on the scene for that fucking accident, nigga. And guess what? Guess who's, I'm not gonna say a name, but he got somebody's certain wife the fuck out of there. Because she was in there. And she wasn't no post-op trans motherfucker. All right, it was a 76 years wife that was in that motherfucker. They said it was. All right, so you can kill all that trans op shit. Fuck all that shit.
He's getting hyped like he was in the car too. Were you there?
What the fuck? My mom was married to the cop. She came home. He came home with the fucking story, nigga. This is all shit. What the fuck he got to lie for? Like, come on.
I don't know.
I don't give a fuck about your
honestly,
I'm just telling you.
He got a little more juice. I think
Listen, man, I'm only telling you. No, his story sounds great.
White people in media. This is a documentary that's set up by fucking media and white people. You're not gonna get the real fucking story. You stay believing these white niggas. Cut me off, man. I'm out, man.
It was Teddy talking. It was Teddy talking. It wasn't white people. It was Teddy P talking.
That's why we doing the
It was that white people. The actual person talked about who was in the car. But that's white people. And because his mom dated somebody, now everybody else that didn't tell his story is wrong. Like, why is that?
That's facts. Yeah, it's facts, nigga.
I understand.
Because that's it.
Good on you for knowing everything.
Because
no other human knows but you and the cop.
And 20, 30 years later, they told the story. Fuck out of here. Get the real story, my nigga.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? From the streets. That's why I go back to
disagree on that.
Yeah. I feel like if you'd have said that with less passion, people might take you serious. But now you just sound like a joke because you just getting all hyped. But you should, because our job is to communicate to people, and you get all irate and all indignant when I'm just telling you what I saw. But because you didn't see it and you didn't hear it that way, you start standing up. And then you give the crotch camera again, and because you get animated, people are supposed to believe you over me. Like, I don't give a fuck who you heard it from. I'm telling you what I saw.
That's why they tune in for this shit.
Right. So you can show your crotch again and stand up and walk away? Like, so what? Fuck your crotch away. I'm telling you what I saw in the documentary. And it wasn't just white people saying it. I know, because you believe what you want to believe. That's your whole thing. Praise God, right?
Yeah. Praise God.
Yeah, you know, these dickhead Christians, they always want to believe. Like, I get it. Yeah, he came back a week late.
Thank you, Lord. It's working.
All right, gentlemen. I think it's about that time.
I think it is.
It's been a good one. It's been a good one.
Always,
man.
You know what I'm saying?
All right, ball sleeves in the back. Oh, ball sleeves in the back, man. You know, good brother Ty at the bottom. Fuck out of here with his shit.
I mean, you say in the bottom, like you get that everybody has their own Zoom view, right? You get that everybody has their own Zoom view. You say in the bottom, that's just your screen.
Listen, dog.
Anybody told you how it works?
Guess what?
But your way is right because that's all you see. So I must be on the bottom on everybody's screen, right?
You know what I'm saying? So
see what I mean? What I'm saying? That's just you.
No, I don't. No, I don't. I don't see what you're saying.
All right.
You keep listening to documentaries in the white man.
Podcastbols
all day. Check us.